I think that's a pretty good feather in your cap, sir. I'm proud of you. Oh, I was given some feedback on last episode looking at us, Cesar. Was told too many tank tops was the reason somebody stopped watching. I was like, just get on board. He got me on board. Get out of here. Fuck sleeves. I got dust on me from that cabinet. State of play. Everything announced. Did y'all see that physical copy?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Box art. I think it's officially time for the PSVR to be hooked up and I play the game that you guys rave about. 'Tis time. There we are. Clothing is required. Tank tops preferred. I think it's official. There we go. Phone battery's good. I leave my iPad down here. I've done that the past like 3 or 4 weeks, and it just it's like it won't die. The battery just lasts forever.
Which one? The one you're never going to upgrade from?
This is the one that had the stealth upgrade that individuals are unaware of. Just had to make sure they were not down here. You don't remember when I did that on the sly?
I can never tell. It's always a wild card with you sometimes.
Hey, I upgraded, and so did those lower than me on the food chain. They also got a device. Dedicated world device. No notification, Mermy says. How's that?
It's every other week apparently now.
I don't know.
I got a notification.
Where's my fucking chat menu? I need that shit.
That's a you problem.
I know it.
Figure it out.
I know it is.
Troubleshoot.
Not now. I'm not doing it again.
It's kind of fucked up.
Studio mode? No.
Also, I'm still kind of getting over some gunk, so just FYI, gentlemen.
You start hacking and coughing. We gotta.
Yeah. If I have to mute.
Yeah, I thought I was muting every time I hacked and coughed, and apparently was not doing that. Yeah, I'm not gonna look for this long. I was just curious if I could see it real quick. View. No, I ain't fucking with it. It'll pop back up next time it kicks me out and I have to authenticate on Restream again. It'll pop back up. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. Or I just upgrade, I roll the dice and upgrade OBS. We want to fight that fight.
Yeah, right. We're recording. Let's do it.
That's the Skype chat. I can't pull that up. I guess I could pull it up in a browser window. Is that going to be too much?
That's literally what I do.
All right. New comments will display here. It signed us in immediately. That's convenient. I might just watch. This monitor's big enough to keep up with everything. I think. You didn't want to believe me. No notification gang. Perfect. Love that we can do that.
Feel better now?
Not really. I want it to work.
I mean, Renee confirmed he received notification for both. I don't know why he's
Oh,
Mermy
shit.
today.
Ooh, it's a shit ton of windows. What you got, Brant? We're about to get started. Brant bailed on us.
Proud of him.
Chat's not on here at all. He's back. In his Batman chair. Mm-hmm. You guys ready to rock?
Let's do it.
804?
Mm-hmm.
304, not 804. Episode 804. I skipped ahead 500 episodes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 304 of the NOFODcast. We are No Outside Food or Drink, the Southeast premier video game and energy drink ranking podcast. We didn't do much of that today. Only one of us partook. We need to bring back aluminum and aspartame. We keep arguing. The fans are clamoring for it. I hear them now. Tonight's news, is anyone surprised it's going to Game Pass? Question mark. What could that be? Press X for Dragon Quest news. Michael, stay tuned for that bit. You'll love the Dragon Quest stuff. Sony's days of play are upon us. We'll discuss, once again in depth, my trials and tribulations with PlayStation Plus membership. And last but not least, Sony's state of play went live, 2.5 hours ago at this point, and we have all of the news from the state of play. All you really need to know is there's a new Astrobot game. I'm one of your hosts, Richard Bergman, joined tonight by Newsmaster, Brant McKee.
What's up? I'm here.
He's here, in the flesh, a day late. How many dollars short, Brant? Thousands? 5?
Several thousands.
Several thousands. That sucks. That is not a boat to be in, to be several $1,000s short.
Millions upon millions.
Speaking of which, the Mega Millions jackpot is up to like 500 million, right? So I usually get a few tickets when it gets crazy like that, just to throw my name in the hat. So I wake up on a day in which I am mandated to appear in the office, and I have an email.
I'm glad you
like that.
Make sure the world knows.
You like that? Yeah, I'm not choosing this life. And I have an email from Georgia Lottery. It says, "Congratulations, you're a Mega Millions winner." And I'm like, oh shit, I'm not going into work today. I'm not even working from home today. And it's just a preview. It's just a snippet on my home screen. I'm like, all right, hell yeah, this is it. I can't wait. Until I'm calling up everybody, telling them meet me at Waffle House. You're good. Don't go to work ever. And open it up and scroll, and $2 has been deposited to my Mega Million or my Georgia Lottery jackpot account. I got one of the whatever they call it at the end, the money ball, the magic ball, the power ball.
Magic 8 ball.
The Magic 8. I won the Magic 8 ball and got 2 smackers.
Looks cloudy, man.
I matched 2 other numbers, but they weren't in that row. I think it would have been $5 if I got the money ball and one of the other ones. I was like, damn it. And I continued my slow descent into the office. Tail tucked between my legs firmly.
We always make that joke at work when there's like, they let us go, fire us. So like, let me know at home in the morning that I can just roll back over and go to sleep and deal with it when I wake up again.
Yeah.
That would be the
preferred
preferred timing,
for
right?
that shit.
Yeah. Don't make me come to work the full day, and then send me home for good. That's a dick move.
Yeah.
Probably going streaking after that.
I'm going right to bed, man. I was like, man, I'm going back to sleep. Fuck that.
No, from the job,
sleep.
not from home.
I'm
You're
going
probably
home,
already streaking at home.
Sleep.
They fired you. What are they gonna do? Your next employer's like, well, how did they leave? How did they take the news when they got let go? They tore their clothes off.
They seemed really happy.
Yeah. Tore their clothes off and ran across the parking lot.
He said it on the Teams call. Fuck this. I'm going back to sleep.
Said it on the Teams call.
Yeah.
He went out on Teams like a legend.
I'll deal with that shit when I wake up. I'll figure it out what to do with my rest of life after that.
Waffle House, man. Are you going to Waffle House or Huddle House to celebrate? Huddle House is inconspicuous, but you may... What was the movie where Nicolas Cage...
Ain't nobody going to Huddle House. Get the fuck out of here.
What was the movie where Nicolas Cage won the waitress won the lottery? He was in the diner or something. Damn.
It's not.
I closed the
I don't
chat
know,
because it wasn't working.
I keep wanting to say Leaving Las Vegas when
Yes,
that's the one he drunk
I'm
himself to
pretty
death.
sure it's.
No, he drunk himself to death in that one. Remember?
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, lottery. Brant's trying to figure it out for us in real time. I think it is Leaving Las Vegas.
That was a dark movie, man. Get the fuck out of here. There's no way.
She didn't win the lottery in that one.
No.
I
don't
don't think it had a
remember.
happy ending. I don't.
He
think
was
it
alcoholic. He fucking died in the end of it.
Nicolas Cage lore. Oh, we're deep in the Nicolas Cage verse. Susser's right there. He's got it.
It's close. It's adjacent to that.
I know.
But it was more of a comedy, man, because Elizabeth Shue was the one leaving Las Vegas, and there's somebody who's like Elizabeth Shue-esque in the other one.
Yes, I'm mixing up my.
That's the reason why.
Yeah, mixing up my Nicolas Cage lore. Oh, Murray in the chat says it could happen to you.
It can happen to
That's
you. Yeah,
it.
there we go. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's,
Who was the lady in that one?
that's
Who was
the one.
the female
Who's
lead?
the female lead? That's Elizabeth Shue adjacent.
It is Elizabeth Shue adjacent.
The
I promise you
other,
that's what it is.
the other Elizabeth Shue.
Oh my gosh.
The right-footed
it's
Elizabeth
fucking
Shue.
blurry. Bridget Fonda?
Not Jane
Seems
Fonda.
right.
What is Bridget Fonda doing? Where did her career go?
I have no clue.
Is she of the Fondaverse?
A cop, a waitress, a lottery ticket is literally on the fucking VHS
That's
cover.
it.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Thank you,
I haven't
Marmy.
seen that in 25ish years.
Jesus.
It's been a long
No,
time.
yeah, that's the one where he left the tip and came back, right?
She bought the lottery ticket with the
I
tip.
do not even remember.
I think so. I think that's right. A cop, a waitress, a lottery ticket. I wonder how much she
Thinking
won.
about this. I don't remember any of this shit.
What if it
man.
still holds up?
It's Nicolas Cage. It's either really, really bad or it's so bad it's
Cagey,
good.
Yeah. Super cagey.
Fucking Face Off.
Oh man.
I don't know. I mean, The Rock
That
is
one's
really
so
good, though.
bad it's
No.
good. Oh,
The
The
Rock
Rock
is
is
good, though.
amazing.
The Rock is cinema perfection. It's way up there.
The Rock is a
Womack.
non-Bond Bond film.
Yeah.
That's the lore, man.
I love the whole bit where he's like, "Yeah, you gotta take the shot and stab it in the heart."
I was a kid. I was like, I could never do that. Now I do it twice a day. It's like, I guess it came around to that. But it's not the VX gas going off in my face that I have to stab myself. Oh, The Rock is cinematic perfection. Perfect soundtrack. Perfect casting. Ed Harris is phenomenal. John C. McGinley's in there. He's fantastic. Sean Connery, of course.
Yeah.
Jade. He's just trying to see his daughter one last time.
Good speed.
Stanley Goodspeed. That's a straight Bond name, too. Brant's right. It's a Bond movie and everything but name, including the original Bond. We gotta get him. We gotta get the original Bond out. Could Nicolas Cage have ever been James Bond?
Oh my
Was he ever in
gosh, that would have been the
contention?
campiest.
Was he ever in contention? Maybe like right
don't think
after
so.
Timothy Dalton?
I don't think ever.
Yeah. They only got Timothy Dalton because Pierce Brosnan was stuck in the Remington Steele contract. He had to get out of that. So sorry, still never seen a Pierce Brosnan Bond?
Yeah, I don't think I ever wake up like, oh, today's the day I'm going to watch one.
Hey man, I had all the movies from Microsoft for like $8. I should have watched them when I had that.
I did too. If I was going to watch it, it would have.
I've
Yeah,
got
I
the
would've
whole
watched it.
box set. I've got the whole fucking box
What
set.
do you have it on Blu-ray?
yeah.
Yes.
I
If you
prefer
want to
my
borrow
app.
it sometime, just let me know.
I prefer me and Richard's $6 digital copy.
They got
complete
revoked
James Bond set.
like a week later. We should have watched them. We had time.
It lasted a couple days. Yeah, I thought we got away with it too. I was like,
Don't tell anybody. Nobody say anything. Nobody watch them. Nobody light up the forums trying to figure out how they can watch these Microsoft videos like I was doing. How do I watch this shit? It's not in movies anywhere. What do I do? Oh, man.
Oh yeah, because I forgot because it is
Yeah, it was in...
MGM, which is not part of that
Uh-uh.
Movies Anywhere verse.
Or Voodoo or anything. We were going to have to go in through, like, the Microsoft tiles, like, in Xbox One and, like, pull up the video app.
Yeah, because that final Daniel Craig film, when I bought it on Blu-ray, it's like, yeah, redeem your digital copy. It was on fucking, like, Apple TV and shit. I was like, what?
At least that goes to movies anywhere, though, right?
I think it stayed on Apple. I don't think it never transferred my movies anywhere.
That's interesting.
It's stupid fucking
MGM.
MGM.
The roaring lion.
Yeah, because like
as soon as you cut it off.
it's the same example as like Paramount. Because Paramount's like, oh, you could do Voodoo and something else, but it doesn't go to your movies anywhere. No, we're not part of that shit.
We ducked out of the license. I've got everything in one. I've got everything
cool.
in the
I don't
movies
have to watch
anywhere
like 85
house.
versions of bad versions of Transformers, so they can have it. So
That's the only thing separated.
yeah, I mean the only good one of the new ones was the one with Anthony Hopkins, and they wasted him as a character. He was like the best character of the whole film.
They wasted him how?
He killed that film. It was awesome. The film was garbage.
He was great. Great performance. Horrible movie.
Oh yeah.
Horrible plot and
or
everything.
shitty ass script. Yeah.
Shitty ass script. Oh, we passed a Transformer. We were in Snellville, Georgia recently, and we passed a Bumblebee. Somebody had like a full scale, not like a full scale, but like it was probably 8 to 10 feet tall. It was like a legit looking Bumblebee. I was like, that's pretty dope. Like the Michael Bay version. It didn't look like the 80s anime one. Like, man, that's pretty cool looking. Never know what you'll run into in a new place. You know what you'll run into in Game Pass this fall? As Brant laughs at my horrible segue.
I'm looking at your picture.
What'd I send? Oh, that was me trying to have the chat up. So I've got the live Skype where I can actually read people's faces and such. I'm making sure OBS works, and then I had the chat up, but the chat wasn't like loaded in there. You like us up there 3 times, Brant? Lot to watch.
Yes.
Which Brant?
That's a lot.
I mean, that's why you see me looking around so much.
How do you keep it straight?
That's why you see me looking around so much. Like, if OBS glitches out, I gotta fix it over here. But I look at you guys to get, like, real-time... That's the call. That's like, looking at... I know when you're about to say something, or we need a segue, or something like that. This comes from Jordan Midler at VideoGamesChronicle.com. Xbox app confirms Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is coming day 1 to Game Pass. So we went from the redacted tune-in June 9th to definitely calling it Call of Duty Black Ops 6 to definitely being a Game Pass within like 5 days. I don't know if it was like super sleuth-worthy or just the eventual avalanche of information. The update to the post says Microsoft has officially announced Black Ops 6 Game Pass launch plans. A notification sent to Xbox players appears to have confirmed that Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is coming to Game Pass on day 1. That was since confirmed. Last week, the Wall Street Journal reported that this year's Call of Duty game will be included as part of the Xbox subscription service, and that Microsoft could also change the tiers available to players in the wake of Call of Duty's inclusion. Would you guys pay more for a Call of Duty Game Pass?
I know somebody would, obviously.
I mean, it's usually one of the big sellers of the year.
Some people are just like, yeah, who plays that game anymore? But it fucking always sells millions, so... And, I mean, honestly, if it were to go up in Game Pass, even if it were, what's Game Pass now? $14, $15. Even if they just jumped it up to a $20 tier that includes, hey, you can play the latest Call of Duty immediately, then, hey, that's another $60, $70 you're not spending on just the story.
Yeah. And if you're promised to get a rollout
Plus you get
of all
the
the
multiplayer.
content,
And
whatever their horde mode is and their firefight and that sort of thing.
Seems like a win-win.
Yeah, we were kicking around at the office, and I had a coworker who had the original Xbox One for a long, long time. Still had the VCR one, right? All he played was Madden, MLB The Show, Call of Duty every year. Those 3. Those are the ones he's going through. So they started adding MLB The Show to Game Pass, and that got him to Game Pass just right off the rip, so he could just like file that away as a subscription and not have to come up with, what was it, 60? It was 70? No, for his version it would have been 60, right, for the Xbox One. Instead of doing that $60 every year, and he was still doing Madden digitally, and then buying Call of Duty, like having that downloaded day 1. He's a Madden away from being like full-time. Game Pass just works for him for all the major titles that he plays. And those are 3 huge sellers every year, too. It's crazy. I know it doesn't really fit us. Do you guys play much of the multiplayer? I only play Warzone. I've yet to play... I bought the...
If it's anything, it's been Warzone with y'all.
Yeah, I got that first Modern Warfare reboot for PS4. I wasn't even living here, so it's been that long. Like, I haven't played any other multiplayer outside of that. It's just been Warzone. No campaigns. Cesar, you tend to like the Black Ops campaigns.
I mean, I played the campaigns. But I don't think there's anything on there that I don't know.
Are they doing a campaign this year? Have they said it's the full, like...
I guess we'll find out more and see. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, is this year gonna be the year where the campaign is exclusive to the current gen and PS4 and Xbox One X gets the bullshit multiplayer like the last gen? Who knows? So
I did see a stat in the past week. It was like over half of PlayStation's Call of Duty players are still on PS4. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
You do not want to lose that audience. You do not want to lose that revenue stream, however big that is. I mean, you cut that PlayStation base in more than half if you exclude some sort of PS4 version. On that note, I was thinking about this earlier. This has been the longest, like... We never transitioned out of PS4 to PS5 or Xbox One to Series consoles. Those are still relevant. Like, there's still stuff coming out for them.
Yeah.
We still haven't, like, turned that page.
I mean, there's some games out now that are just Series capable only, and they're not Xbox One compatible.
They're getting there, but they're still few and far between. And we're, 3.5 years into this thing?
Because, I mean, the crazy thing is there's more PS4 games that are still being produced than they are original Xbox One. So
yeah. I mean, it had the larger install base to start with, and you have all the Japanese developers still supporting it and things like that.
So, I mean, they've already moved away because what was it? Was it Shin Megami Tyson, the new one? 5
Vengeance, the reboot or the reload?
That's on PS4 digital at least, but I don't think it's on the
not on Xbox.
So Xbox One at least. No, it's not on Xbox One. It's just only on Series consoles.
Okay.
So.
They ditched that one then.
So you see more and more of them people just saying still hanging on PS4, but PS4 now is at the point where like that's digital only. There's no physical copy of that one. There's a lot of these are going to digital only on PS4 now.
That makes sense. I feel like that is what happened eventually last go around. Like you just stopped getting physical copies of PS3 games. You had a physical copy of PS4 and a download maybe for the PS3 one. But it took 3.5 years to get to that same type scenario.
No, I mean the next one is what GTA 6 is all everybody talks about because there's no PC version planned. So that's the only one that you're forced to buy a PS5 or an Xbox Series. Right. Unless you wait for the PC one to whenever that comes out. So.
Way down the road. This would mark, back to the article, this would mark the first time a Call of Duty game has been included in such a service at launch. It would mean for players with access to Xbox platforms, the entry cost for the game would be as little as $11. Call of Duty's inclusion on Game Pass was a long-held sticking point to the protracted court battles following the merger of Xbox and Activision Blizzard. The game has almost uniformly been the year's best-selling, which Sony suggested would give Microsoft an unfair advantage if they were to offer it to PlayStation players at full price. And Sony's had the marketing deal with Call of Duty for quite some time, right? Didn't they have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 bundles, like the last big... Was that the last big release?
Yeah. I think when they when they did the purchase, it was supposed to be the last... They only had 3 games left in the marketing deal, so...
And then this last one was Modern Warfare 3, right? They just went straight to that?
That should have been the last one, because I think it was supposed to be... I think Warzone 2.0 was part of it as well, so I think that deal is over.
That makes more sense. It's almost like Bungie dropping those Halo games to get out of that contract. Remember they came out with Reach and ODST trying to get the hell out of the Halo contract with Microsoft? Brant has a cat on the stream.
Cat stream.
We always have a cat stream. My gaming kitty's gone. I don't get visitors down here as much. All right, it'll be there in Game Pass, and I think all of us are still Game Passing away.
Yeah,
and we'll see how there's a big gamble. We'll see if it affects their sales, because I mean, they don't raise a price in Game Pass, you losing out on potential full price sales. So
I didn't hate.
You gotta hope that the people pick up on DLC or battle passes to make up the difference. So
yeah, and I mean we've talked about on the live service games that we all enjoy. We don't mind picking up the battle pass here and there if it's something interesting to us. And I liked getting the perks. Like when we were playing Master Chief Collection a lot, they would throw perks into the Game Pass stuff. You would go redeem like a Warthog skin or something. It was just like an added incentive to have that. So maybe if you're playing Call of Duty through Game Pass, but then everybody will have that, right? Just about everybody will have the whatever the Game Pass perks are. They still do those for Halo? Maybe Halo Infinite? Like double XP rewards and stuff. I haven't checked in on that stuff in so long.
I don't look at that part of Game Pass. So.
Friend of the show, Boosh, said he wants to go back to playing some more old man Halo. He wants to give that a go again. think I might be down for some.
Yeah.
From Helldivers to Hellbringers, we'd be spraying those flamethrowers again. All right, next up, Days of Play. Days of Play has been announced.
Did you skip a story?
Maybe so. Brent, what's that story? I had to have.
That was the Press X for Dragon Quest.
Oh,
stuff.
I must have. Inform us.
Square Enix has teased its 2D HD remake of Dragon Quest III for the first time in 3 years.
I didn't realize it was
initially
that long ago
confirmed
that thing was announced.
Yeah, back in 2021, that it was working on the one of new 5 Dragon Quest games, which included the remake of Dragon Quest III in its new HD 2D style. Let's see, I'm looking. Video that they just released shows the symbol for Dragon Quest III logo along with the words, "The Legacy Begins." The tweet also reads, the legend of Erdrick draws near. And I believe there was something at the bottom that listed the... there it is. The teaser also suggests the game will be coming to PS5, Xbox Series, Switch, and PC.
Everything, Steam and Windows, not just Steam, just Windows as
Yeah.
well. So.
Or maybe the Switch successor. That Erdrick legend, that encompassed multiple games, right? That wasn't just 3? Is that what people are looking into? Like it might be the original trilogy or something?
Yeah, Midori, that Sega leaker, she pretty much said it's 1, 2, and 3. That's what's took
That
us
is
a while.
awesome. That will be okay.
Yeah, she confirmed it's 1, 2, and 3, and then that should be, we'll get more in the next Nintendo Direct. So this one is still going to be presented by Nintendo apparently.
Okay, that's why it's just been kind of quietly, quiet behind the scenes.
Should be the end of this year is what I think. That's what they're
This
saying.
will be the definitive way to play these because these are still kind of rough. Press X to stairs. Hopefully that goes away. That's not very charming anymore. It's annoying as shit. Sorry, Michael.
That makes sense because these 3 games go right into 11, so it makes sense.
Yep. I remember Michael explaining that to us. That lore, the legend of the Luminary. All right, was that it? Was that the Dragon Quest news? Press X to Dragon Quest?
I mean, yes, there was... They had kind of like a Square Enix Dragon Quest presentation thing.
Yeah, what was that? Like, I saw this news coming out, but I didn't know there was a thing planned.
I don't know. And they also did... They mentioned the fact that... was it Dragon Quest 12 is still in development. And the biggest thing was Yuji Horii said, and I quote, I want it to be worthy of Akira Toriyama's and Koichi Shigeyama posthumous work, because obviously both of them passed away. So they're doing what they can to continue the development of that
Dragon Quest spirit alive. Because they've been involved with all of them, right? All the mainline ones, at least. That's your triannual Dragon Quest update. 150
like
episodes ago, we were discussing this. Maybe not that long ago. Now on to Days of Play. Brant, can I finally do my Days of Play story? Jeez.
Now on to Days of Play.
Days of Play. Sony Interactive Entertainment has revealed June's 2024 PlayStation Plus monthly games lineup, and that coincided with a whole shit ton of other PlayStation news before today's State of Play. This comes from Jordan Midler at VideoGamesChronicle.com. He has kindly summarized everything for us. Your games lineup for June is SpongeBob SquarePants: The Cosmic Shake. Could be Brant's game of the year this year.
Yay, Brant.
No, I really lay into Brant. He finally got into the SpongeBob game.
Brant is the connoisseur SpongeBob player.
He does. He enjoys a good SpongeBob platformer. As well as AEW Fight Forever and Streets of Rage 4. That would be a fun stream with us, playing some Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage 4 is really good.
Very good game. Good soundtrack. Other deals will be, there's a sales event happening on the PlayStation Store and PlayStation Gear Store. 30% off PlayStation Plus subscriptions. Up to 30% off PlayStation Plus subscriptions. $50 off PS5 consoles, $100 off PSVR 2, and hundreds of discounted games. I saw 2 compelling arguments today in that state of play for PlayStation VR 2 outside of just its PC linkage capabilities. Both of those games looked really, really good. Alongside this, PlayStation Plus members of any tier will receive a Roblox pack that includes an avatar for Felix Freezebeard the Yeti. Of course it does. For the first time,
What the fuck is that?
PSVR 2 games will be included in the PlayStation Plus Premium members tier beginning June 6th. These games are Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, Walkabout Minigolf, Synth Riders, Before Your Eyes, and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapters 1 and 2. The biggest news, however, I would argue, is that PlayStation 2 titles have been confirmed, which will be added to the service on June 11th for PlayStation Plus Premium members. Brant's video is going crazy as he fights the cat, maybe. These titles are Tomb Raider Legend, Star Wars The Clone Wars, R.I.P. Pandemic, the studio, not the disease.
Yeah. And
Sly Cooper, The Thievius Raccoonus, R.I.P.
Not the European Sly Raccoonus.
European Sly. or the Sly that trains on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I'll take famous Slies for 400. Finally, the following titles will be added to the PlayStation Plus game catalog. Those are Dredge, Lego Marvel Super Heroes 2, Cricket 24. Do I need to have played Cricket 1 through 23? And Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, the Definitive Edition. Does that mean all of those GTA remasters have made it through the service at this point?
I think so.
So expect that to come to Game Pass soon as well, right?
I would imagine so.
Man, what a way to bring back PS2 classics. And you have Tomb Raider Legend, which was like the reboot that Tomb Raider desperately needed. Sly Cooper, the first one, and maybe the weakest one out of the bunch, Star Wars The Clone Wars, but it's like a licensed title that was stuck on that platform. I think these are 3 awesome games. What do you guys think? Before I go into my PlayStation Plus rant.
As long as we get Ratchet and Clank at some point.
Yes. And these are downloadable, right? That's what I was searching for. Yeah.
Oh,
no
yeah.
streaming.
They are.
Which the PS3 has been stuck on having to stream everything, but you can download these, so they're potentially PlayStation Portal titles to play Sly Cooper on your new PSP.
They'll be downloadable. They'll be hopefully it'll have the same kind of upped resolutions, fast or the rewind features and things like that we've gotten with the PS1 stuff.
Yes, please. This is that new emulator they developed, right?
Yeah,
it's from they got the guy who created PCSX2 in there on the team.
Hire from the best.
Ever since they hired him, this is the reason why we got PS2
awesome.
working again. So
awesome. Great additions. Now my slight rant on PlayStation Plus membership. These benefits are only for remaining subscriptions or new subscriptions, right? So I go in there, I'm like, man, I'm ready to commit to a year of either premium or extra. Let's see what it is. I'm going to get the 30% savings on my remaining, 9 days, I think it said on there. So I'm going to save 40 cents on the 2 tiers and 50 cents on the other one for the next 10 days. So what I'm considering doing, y'all tell me if this is crazy. I haven't found a solution for this yet. Cancel my current subscription. Let that benefit, I guess if I buy a new one, it's going to tack it on at the end of it. Can I then qualify for the 30% off for the extra or premium? Have y'all heard of that working for anyone?
I don't know.
I mean, it can get any worse than what you
What's
have
it hurt,
now,
right? Yeah. Because too long didn't read. The sale is going to end before my PlayStation Plus subscription ends, and there's no way to get the benefit currently without paying the full price. I can only pay the 30% off for the remainder of my subscription, which is 9 days. And then it even says after that, and then $50 recurring billing. It's whatever the standard rate is, which sucks. I've heard people rant about this in years past, and now it's me. I didn't think it was going to be me. I was waiting this whole time for the Days of Play sale. Oh, well. Find out next week. I'll probably fuck around with it between now and then. I might cancel and just see what it does. Maybe they'll throw me a thing like, hey, come back to us. All right, lads. Let's dive into the state of play. That was today. Oh, are you guys going to get anything in that Days of Play? State of Play? Days of Play? Are you getting anything in
Days
the
of Play?
Days of Play sale?
I don't know. There's a lot. They have a lot on sale.
Yeah, check out the blog post. There's a shit ton of games. There's no way we can go through all of them.
PSVR is almost tempting. I mean, $100 off.
Mm-hmm.
Plus the supposedly spotted new adapter
PC
for the PC.
Yeah.
You gonna hook it up to that MacBook?
I'll hook it up to something, goddammit.
There'll be flames coming out of that MacBook.
Yeah, this thing it would sound like a whole airfield, most likely. It wouldn't be a jet engine; it would be the whole damn airfield.
Is that an Intel MacBook?
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't remember. I'm not making fun of the old MacBook. I didn't think it was a Power PC one, but Cesar and I were talking the other day about people putting Windows on those old Intel MacBook Pros and how great of machines they became after.
Yeah, I've read an article about how Windows 11 runs all some of those things.
They got out of once they've grown out of the Mac OS updates, and you're not getting those anymore, and it just runs Windows 11 like beautifully. Good times. I'm ready to tinker around with a Mac again. Cesar, are you ready? You want to bake a graphics card?
I mean, sure.
Let's go for it. All right, today was the State of Play, Sony's long-rumored direct style presser. The missus was asking me, like, she was trying to tell somebody what I was watching, and I called it a press event. Like, what are these? Direct kind of became synonymous, but if you don't know what if you don't know where the Nintendo Direct, and I think what Microsoft calls them developer directs, where that lineage came from, it's a press event, right? What would y'all call it?
I guess it's like a press. Yeah, like a press. I mean, the whole Nintendo Direct and Xbox showcase and
Xbox games showcase. Forgot that one.
It's just what everything's. That's what everything's become, man.
Nindies.
The Nindies.
Long live the Nindies.
Nintendo Indie Direct now.
No, it's not. It's the Nindies Direct. But it was 33 to 35 minutes of game announcements, updates, news, those sort of things. IGN has summarized them all. Taylor Lyles specifically at 7:28 p.m. today updated this article as Brant compiled it for our news. Thank you, Newsmaster Brant McKee. They led off with Concord, which is Firewalk Studios' new game. It's a 5v5 multiplayer shooter, which I did not know what it was when that trailer started. I was like,
yeah,
it's like, to give you guys a Guardians of the Galaxy vibe, like a ragtag hero.
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty good. This isn't bad. The missus was watching this with me, like, okay, this looks interesting. I think I would play this. I'm like, really? So, I don't know.
It's a brand adjacent game. It's Overwatch.
I was also reminded of Overwatch type stuff.
Well, maybe a little bit of Valorant mixed in.
I don't know anything about Valorant. If you showed me gameplay of Valorant, I don't know that I could name that's what it is. The new trailer showed a pre-rendered cutscene showcasing a ragtag group of guns for hire. After the extended cutscene, Firewalk Studios provided a first and detailed look at Concord's gameplay. Shows a glimpse of the various characters you can play. As Sony previously reiterated, Concord will be released on PC and PS5 on August 23rd. However, the studio will host a beta in July before that date. And from what I saw, you have to pre-order it to get into that beta. But only one person has to pre-order it, and then 4 of their closest friends, get included in the beta. So, I don't know, maybe we get in as a PlayStation perk or a PlayStation Plus perk or something.
Gameplay wise, it looks okay.
Yeah.
But then again, we all talk shit about Helldivers and look how that turned out.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll see when it comes out. So.
The cool aspect to me, like we saw this long cutscene, and they said when you log in weekly, there's going to be like a new cinematic for updating.
That's what
the
Overwatch 2 was supposed to be.
Really?
So.
Could they not keep up with it, or they just never got to that?
I mean, there was supposed to be like a story-based mode that they just got rid of. So that had that. It's supposed to be that whole cinematic thing. It was like some of the charm that the original Overwatch had.
Which we kind of get with Helldivers in the orders, right?
Yeah.
I probably need to log on and collect 80,000 orders.
They at least have to make it skippable for those people that don't, because
Call of Duty doesn't, but that's not once a week.
I was about to say that Call of Duty thing would always kill me. You go through that long ass update, and then you get ready. You're like, all right, guys, I'm on, and then all of a sudden it's a fucking like 5-minute intro cutscene talking about
Man.
whatever's going on this season, and you're like, well, fuck this, never mind. Let me just
Give me 5 minutes.
I gotta wait, guys. Hold on.
It's always
Gotta
it's
sit
always
through the
Ghost
bullshit.
from Call of Duty fighting Snoop Dogg or a Gundam. It's always that. So.
Yeah, that's right. They are doing Gundam. I saw
Snoop
that.
Dogg versus the
Gundam, yeah,
Gundam.
Gundam's on there. Yeah, it's always like Ghost fighting Snoop Dogg. It's like, well, what's Ghost doing now? He's always in there. He's in there with his mask, with a suit on.
Unskippable Marvel Cinematic, Call of Duty Cinematic Universe cutscene every season. Oh, we still got to get back into Warzone and play some Ashika before it goes away.
I mean, I think me and Renee went in there a couple times, so waiting on y'all.
Yeah, y'all have played recently. It looks good. Long rumored Concord. Interesting. We'll see. Next up, the news was God of War Ragnarok is coming to PC this September, specifically on September 19th. Thank you. A port of the 2022 PS5 and PS4. Did it come out for PS4 title?
It did.
Whole bunch of tech behind this one, which was cool. It includes the Valhalla DLC and PC-centric features such as support for ultra-wide monitors, unlocked frame rates, and super sampling techs like DLSS and FSR, which is extra cool. After the state of play, a PlayStation blog post revealed that players must have a PlayStation Network account to play the PC version of God of War Ragnarok. Here we go.
They're putting all the chips in that corner now. I guess it is what it is.
It's right
now.
there in the beginning. It's right there to start. It's no sort of drama. And we've been doing this forever, like Ubisoft accounts and shit. I guess it's because it patched into Helldivers that everybody pitched a fit.
It's the PC world, man. It's the most spoiled group of people ever. So
it just needs to run. I should be tied to a console, but that looked good. I think did y'all see the studio? It wasn't Nixus. It wasn't their usual PC porting people. That's the thing that jumped out at me when it first came on. Anyways, next up, Dynasty Warriors Origins announced. I saw that Omega Force logo pop up, and I was like, "Holy shit! Here we go, some Dynasty Warriors." And this looks like it looks like old school Dynasty Warriors. It looks like it's a return to form. Yeah.
9 was really, really different.
And it's been a while since that one. I think I saw 2018 somewhere. Omega Forces.
I mean, this one's, it says Richard wanted a strictly current gen one.
Yep.
There's no PS4 or old school
Nothing
Xbox.
holding it back. I love me some Dynasty. I get in a mood for some Dynasty Warriors sometimes, and it's mindless fun, but there's a certain level of strategy to it outside of just like XXXXXXXX square. Yeah. But it's fun, and they got the dramatic cutscenes, and the music's like that, butt rock with some crazy animations, and Dynasty Wars is a good fucking time. Sometime next year, they say, from Koei Tecmo, in a PlayStation blog post, Dynasty Warriors Origins producer Tomojiko Sho revealed that Origins will depict the chaos of the Three Kingdoms for the first time in the Dynasty Warriors franchise. Oh, we haven't seen Chaos yet. This is a first. Mm-hmm. With players taking control, a nameless hero. More interestingly, Sho revealed that Omega Force is leveraging the PS5 technology to create, quote, an all-new Warriors-like battlefield, end quote, that will provide massive armies, quote, as far as the eye can see. Reminds me of like, what was that game, Cameo, when all the tech demos were coming out for Cameo at the 360 launch. You'd see like Cameo on this horse like just going through all these enemies, and that was back in the day of like the Sony PlayStation duck, like filling the bathtub and like rendering and like how many things can you fit on screen. That was such a big deal of processing power and capability and stuff. So you definitely saw that in this trailer. You saw hordes and hordes. It looked like old school Dynasty Warriors.
Then we got the rubber duck demo.
I like the rubber duck demo. I played Super Rub-a-Dub a couple weeks ago. I didn't mention it on the show, but Super Rub-a-Dub is awesome, man. Trying to lead the ducks to the end of the maze. This one was weird. I didn't quite understand what was happening in this one. Upcoming open world RPG Infinity Nikki is getting a beta test sometime in Q3 2024. A vibrant open world RPG with former Zelda director Kentaro Tominaga attached to the project. Got another trailer. I didn't know this was like announced. It seemed like it was a fashion game to start with, and then it looked more open world and life simi maybe. Do y'all know anything about this one?
Yeah.
I had no clue. The young lady in the trailer has like a bear that flies around and seems like a kind of an assistant, like a palico maybe. If that reference hits for Monster Hunter people. Next up, I missed this one. Where winds meet. I got up to get my artichokes out of the air fryer.
Oh god.
What happened?
No, I'm just laughing because that's what I was telling Renee. Somebody had leaked the state of play on Twitter, and somebody was like, "Is Where Winds Meet also coming to Xbox?" And the guy's like, "Literally, this is the first time this game's ever been mentioned, so I don't know." I was like, "Oh god, here we go."
Here it goes. Yeah, I read something on Reddit that was translated from Spanish that had a couple of these things in there, like the Dynasty Warriors news that was in there on this bit. Where Winds Meet, originally announced at Gamescom opening night. It's a martial arts action adventure game set in the Ten Kingdoms era. Where Winds Meet has players taking the role of a swordsman who will play a critical role in influencing the outcome of the conflict. Your decisions are key in how the events will unfold. Next up was Ballad of Antara. I like the way this one looked. This was a surprise, art style and stuff for me. Ballad of Antara is a dark fantasy RPG that is set to release sometime next year. This is a brand new IP developed by Tipsworks Studio. I meant to look them up to see what else they've done. I didn't recognize Tipsworks. In a PlayStation blog post, the studio head wrote that Ballad of Antara will strive to achieve the, quote, highest fidelity, end quote, and will be a free-to-play title. That did not look like a free-to-play title to me.
No.
I wonder if Tipsworks has, NetEase backing, or what's that other big conglomerate? Not the Saudi fund, but I think it's another China. Tencent. It came to me, too.
They're working them tips either way.
They are. Work the tips. Wow. For this new IP.
Oh, is that an episode title?
Possibly. For this new IP, we set out to create a vast world, both in geological scale and cultural variation. In the normal version of this world, common folk reside. In another version of the world, peculiar sightings and encounters await. So the clip had the trailer had a clip where the character walked through a bubble almost, and it was almost like going into a minus world or a negative world or something, or kind of similar to Twilight Princess, the Twilight realm that was coexisting with Link's normal Hyrule. We call this unimaginable part of the world Para. Fundamental essences of the living world are taken away and trapped inside the Para from the invasion of an ancient power, and that's where our story begins. That one looked amazing.
I mean, that's what I was telling Renee. This is almost like fucking Elden Ring. It looks like Elden Ring.
It as I'm watching gameplay, I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. It looks very Souls-esque.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the bosses and all the stuff is very Elden Ring-ish with the fantasy setting.
And having to skate around and cut in to attack and then skate back.
Like that, yeah. They're like that whole Potter world is there's a level in Elden Ring that's like that too. So.
Next up, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners developer announces a new VR game called Behemoth. This looked awesome. This looked like it had Shadow of the Colossus vibes to it. Set in the Forsaken Lands, which is described as a once great civilization that is now just a barren wasteland, players will endure both the cold and hostile enemies as they uncover the dark secrets hidden there. Behemoth reveals the website for Behemoth reveals the game will be released sometime in October for PSVR 2, in addition to MetaQuest and Steam VR. Okay. I didn't know it was also going to be MetaQuest. Maybe it'll make it to my aging MetaQuest 2 that they luckily haven't abandoned yet. But this was one of the ones I mentioned was an argument for PSVR 2. This looked really, really good. Great gameplay. And like I said, Shadow of the Colossus type bosses. It was a big towering. I like scale, and there was a lot of instances in that trailer of scale, archers were shooting at the character, and it looks like you can grab arrows and string the bow and shoot the arrow back. But all the while that was happening, this big giant behemoth, I guess, is behind the wall and hammers down and kills the guys that was just fighting you. It just looks like, pure madness happening. Somebody want to take over this at the Alien?
Alien Rogue Incursion is out this holiday on PSVR 2.
It looked like Isolation. I thought it was Isolation. It's not the same team, though.
No, it's a new game set in an Alien franchise. Game is based on the iconic horror franchise, obviously. It's powered by Unreal Engine 5. In the PlayStation blog post, Survivor's chief product, TQ Jefferson, wrote that this upcoming horror game is a single-player action horror game with a all-new storyline. Players will control a yet-to-be-named protagonist who explores a facility overrun with xenomorphs on the inhospitable planet of Perdan.
Give me a Stray tie-in where you play as Jonesy on the.
There you go.
What's the name of the ship? Holy crap! Alien lore. It's escaping me. Oh no! What's the name of that ship? The Nostromo.
Nostromo.
Mm-hmm. That'd be a good crossover. No, this looked crazy. And did you guys like Alien Isolation? Did you play much of it?
I did not. I've seen people play it, and it looks like it's fun. But I've never.
I got stuck at a certain point and like didn't go back to it. Figures, right? But it had the ultimate version of cat and mouse, where that alien is stalking you and chasing you around. And there's times where you hole up in a locker hoping it doesn't see you or hear you or anything, and just goes by, and you're in that locker for like 5 minutes. I can't imagine what that'd be like in VR. And of course, it had the whole like alien sensor, like you're looking out and you can see hopefully where the sensor's going off. That one looked good.
So up next we have Marvel Rivals.
Is this already out? Or is this?
Yeah, PC, it says there's a PC and Mac release. It's a PvP shooter, of course, revolving around Marvel Comics superheroes. It's getting a PS5 version. There's still no release date. It's going out to a closed beta set for July. Then we have Until Dawn gets new trailer and release window of fall 2024. The trailer just kind of showed off the enhancements that the studio's made into the original Until Dawn, the graphics and the animations.
It looks weird, man. I was telling Renee,
it does kind of look off, doesn't it?
Weird. Yeah, I looked at it. It doesn't look right.
Then we have Path of Exile 2 releasing in early access in 2024.
Diablo,
it looks just kind of Diablo-esque, that top-down style, but will include a couch co-op support. So
that, and what was it, cross-platform co-op save,
I believe so.
which is neat. So
then we had Silent Hill 2 Remake finally gets its release date. And I believe after the show it got like another trailer as well, like a 13 or not a trailer, but like almost gameplay, 13 minutes that Konami released. Releases October 8th to PC and PS5.
It looks a lot better than the last
trailer. It was early along.
It was pretty damn good.
It looks phenomenal.
Yeah. So I mean, it's October. We still got another 5 more months. So I got high hopes for it.
Looks so good. It looks like that perfect mix of like Dead Space and Resident Evil 4 over the shoulder type gameplay. That gonna be everybody's Halloween game?
Possibly.
I don't know, man. We still got 5 months. We never know when might pop out.
It was scary as fuck when we were playing that PS2 one, man. I couldn't play it. I didn't mind being along for the ride, but I couldn't play it.
I don't know if I'll be able to play that Alien game in VR. So
gosh. You'll have to get a friend of the show, Russell, in VR with the aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Since he did so well with the was Until Dawn.
It was the Rush of Blood.
Rush of Blood, the carnival.
I just remember seeing the ghost floating by that. Nope, but this is not the one for me.
It sold him on it. He bought a PSVR after that.
Got it somewhere.
I wake up in a cold sweat when I have sleep paralysis, and I'm like, there's something on me. I'm like, nah, I'm done.
It's too real. It's too real at this point.
Yeah.
That one's a badass game. God, I like to see. We've kind of wondered on the show like what the lifeline on PSVR 2 is, but these are two pretty solid titles.
Thinking about it, something like I said, Brent says $100 off. I might do the split in 4 payments. I'm thinking about
it's an option.
Next up, Capcom shares a new look at Monster Hunter Wilds. Just a brand new trailer.
Brent's excited about the Gyru. I was like, oh, Brent will be happy about that.
Next up,
what is it?
The Gyru. No. But next up we
I'll let
We
Okay,
had
thank
we
you.
had the
Is this another Rule 34 thing? I have to be explaining something after the show.
what? We had the game of the show, I would say, Astrobot.
Brent can't finish.
Is it the blonde? Are we talking about the
was
busty blonde?
officially-
Is that a? What
Yes,
is it?
this is what we're talking
She was
about.
very prominently featured in the trailer. I think it's fair to talk about.
No, it's time to talk about Astrobot. Damn it!
All right,
We can't talk about
Moving
Brent's
along.
fetishes on stream, so let's go. Yeah.
that's for the after show. That'll be in the after show,
my
the
gosh.
Patreon supported one.
So Team Asobi's back, and they've got a brand new Astrobot game.
Yay.
This looks fucking amazing.
Yes.
Looks exactly like kind of what we got as the pack in for PS5 plus
It's a phenomenal game.
the VR game. It brought back like some of the enemies that were from the original VR game, and there's brand new enemies. It looks so fun. And I can't wait to play this damn game.
Got a Donkey Kong adjacent.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like
Oh,
I thought they
gosh.
were going after other console makers. Like the first monster, he like Astro like rides this PlayStation into this battle, and it's a big green monster, and I'm like, all right, that's very Xbox-esque. I'm sure that's not what they're going for. And then the next enemy was this giant Donkey Kong looking thing.
Yeah. If they had the giant poo from Conquer,
Yep.
you know what was up. You're like,
Yep.
oh god, we know what's going
But
on.
They really
corn
leaned
teeth and
into
everything.
like that pack-in game with the PS5 was like a celebration of PlayStation history. Like you unlocked PSP and PS1, and you had this interactive museum where you could pop the lid open on the PS1, and you could make Astro like spin, and it would spit out the disc drawer of the PS2, and it was just like this living history thing. And it seems like they've leaned more into that. You had PlayStations flying around and DualShock controllers and more characters, like Kratos was there, and the boy from Ico,
Parappa.
was his name Ico in the story? Ico? I just remember the girl like
do not
hollering at
even
him.
remember.
Yeah, I don't remember his name.
I don't know, it's gonna be that weird thing that people always think that's the name of the main character, and we look at it, it's gonna be like
Zelda.
Earl or something like that.
The PlayStation
this is-
Zelda.
This is coming out September 6th. Players will explore over 80 levels spanning 6 galaxies as they look for Astro's missing crew. Man, they're always going missing. We're always having to get a new crew or rescue little robots or something. But
thought we were getting another rescue mission, or at least a port.
that is all of the stuff from the State of Play.
Yeah. Solid show. What do you think?
It was a solid show.
New Astrobot made it for me for sure. And
100%.
And the PSVR 2 stuff looks good. Wario just said on Twitter that Until Dawn looks like it's also going to require the PlayStation login. So if people were assuming that the uproar caused by the Helldivers integration was going to go away, no, that seems like they're doubling down on that on all their PlayStation stuff. That it for news? Brant coughs. On to games played.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, I played a video game over the past week. I put approximately 5 hours into it. As Cesar's trying to get me to jump on Nintendo Switch Online and see what game he's playing, which is the true successor to Super Tennis.
Yeah, this is Jellicle Super Tennis. So
Jellicle
this is
Super
the one I'll play.
It has to be better than the actual Nintendo Super Tennis, right?
It's like the world's longest name on there too. It's like I don't know what the fuck
so I talk about, new Dragon Quest. Am I going to buy the new Dragon Quest? Probably, but I haven't played any of the previous Dragon Quest, right? So Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door came out last week on was it last week? Last Friday? Yeah, that's when I was
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday on Nintendo Switch, and I'm like, I have all the Paper Mario games. I've never really invested any time in a Paper Mario game, and that N64 one is on the Switch. It's on the N64 module thing, I guess. Tile, whatever you call it. I wish they would put all that stuff together and just let it launch. I get tired of. It's almost like you have to go in and update them, right? They tell you there's something new to play, and then you just
you've got to update each one and verify that you can still play them, and it's a hassle.
So I started Paper Mario. Brant, have you played this since you were on the show? I feel like you got into Paper Mario at some point. Have you ever played the first one?
No.
It's a very simple RPG. It's turn-based. And even 5 hours in, my damage, like my hits are still going for like 1 or 2 HP on me and against me. Like it doesn't immediately, you're not like climbing up in the hundreds like a Final Fantasy or something like that and trying to keep track of that stuff. It's the same thing has happened in the Mushroom Kingdom. Bowser has like had a castle underneath the Mushroom Kingdom castle, Princess Peach's castle, and like rose it up into the sky and kicked Mario out, and Mario like papered down back onto the world. So Bowser has captured the Star Rod and the 7 stars from Star Haven, and you have to go around unlocking each one of the stars and restoring power and doing that. I guess it's RPG tropey, but it's written in this really funny humor. Like the first companion that you get, Luigi's right there, and Luigi's like, "Really? You're gonna take this? It's a Goomba. You're gonna take this Goomba and not your brother? Like you get to go on an adventure with my brother, and I'm just kind of stuck here." So it's got some funny writing to it. The paper mechanics are really cool. You can turn sideways and like slip in between bars, and I'm just having a lot of fun with it. And I haven't really jumped into an RPG in probably since Legend of Dragoon kind of got its hooks in me a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm just having fun with it. I got the first star. It doesn't start you up. There's multiple chapters. I'm in chapter 2 now. But the prologue is like the longest part of that. I would say that's 3.5 hours. And then chapter 1 was like unlocking that first star. You go up against these Koopa brothers that have been corrupted. And it's all very, like, it sounds dramatic, the castle rising in the sky and all that. But it's all played out like, even the battles play out on like a stage. So it almost seems like, Nintendo over the years has done, like, Super Mario Brothers 3 had the curtains and all that. It's almost playing out like it's a play, because you could almost feel like the characters are just playing parts in a presentation like that. And the battles take place in a stage presentation, and there's like toads in the audience that clap and stuff like that. And I think they carried that over to the other ones, right? Like Thousand Year Door, and I know Cesar played the Origami King when it came out that year for Switch and really loved it. The battles are simple. They're timing based, which just like Legend of Dragoon, like if you miss one, you're like, fuck, because all that does is mean you're gonna have to heal when you didn't plan to heal. Mario jumps, and if you don't jump at the right time, I think Mario RPG had a little bit of this too. If you don't hit jump at the right time, you don't get the second jump, and all that does is mean they're gonna hit you again, and you have to heal, or you're gonna have to use attack you didn't plan on using. You only get spot for 10 items. And then you can start banking it at the Koopa stores, like where they sell the goods and stuff. And I've run into an issue more with like getting new items versus trying to use them, because it'll make you pick an item to spit out of your inventory. So then I'm looking like, okay, should I spit out a mushroom and take the 5 HP and then grab this other thing? So there's a weird, I run into that with Elder Scrolls games. I don't like being encumbered. Like, why are we limiting items you can carry? But I think the battles might be too easy and cheap if you do that. Your major abilities come from badges. I don't know if this is in any of the further games too, but it's a lot of, you find them randomly on the battlefield, and then you can like, or just the map, and then you can buy them too. And they include things like throw your hammer farther for like 1 extra damage, and they use flower points. So your HP is like their hearts, right? And then you have flower points, which is all your specials. And you can assign a badge to increase one of those. So if you haven't leveled up enough, you can equip like an HP plus. You can equip a. I'm hoping there's like an item inventory one, so I can quit being over encumbered with stuff. But it's very simplistic, but it's like I guess that's Nintendo's thing. It's very good. It's very solid. The music's pretty good. It's that 64 cartridge limitation you hear sometimes. I'll be in an area for like an hour, and it's the same tune for an hour. So I end up turning the volume down. One of the badges is to replace the sound effects, so you don't have to hear the same, like him stomping on people's heads and throwing hammers and stuff like that. When you unlock a star, this is the last little bit technical wise. When you unlock one of these stars, when you free them, they give you an attribute, like a star ability. So you've got the flower points that you can use, those badge abilities, and then now I've got like a star thing, and that ability is like HP and a flower point refill, but it doesn't, and it'll refill naturally. So it's like a heal basically. It's like a white magic in Final Fantasy. So it's going to be cure and MP up. But only Mario can cast that. Like each one of the partners that you get is just like a support person in battle. But the other option the star gives you is to focus that energy. So that star meter will refill normally, just like fighting fights and stuff like that. But you can also hit focus in between rounds between you and your partner and refill that meter faster, so you could potentially heal. Because I've been places, it's not hard, but I've just been in places where I didn't have healing items, and I ran into one too many people, and it's like I might not get out of this, but I haven't gotten a game over yet, and I'm in a pretty good flow of knowing. Like the compatriots they've given you, I've had 3 party members. You start off with a Goomba, and then you get a Koopa Troopa so the Goomba like dive bombs on people. The Koopa Troopa spits his shell out, and you can use that ability on the world map. So you might see a question box that you can't get to. You could pull him up and like shoot the shell out and get whatever the item was in the coin box. And then I've just gotten a Koopa also. I'm missing somebody. I'm missing one of my travel companions. But you can rotate. They don't go away. You can rotate in and out of them, and you can do it in battle. So if like the Koopa Troopa only fights on the ground, you need the Goomba to like get an enemy that's up top. If you don't have the hammer equipped for Mario, you can bring in the other guy. You can bring in the Goomba to like head stomp him and jump him in there. So it's really paper, rock, scissory. Bran, as much as you like Pokemon games, I think you really might like this battle system. It's real intuitive, and
yeah, it sounds like it.
It's real intuitive. There's little Mario nuances like the Koopa. If you fight a Koopa, I've got one in my party, but there's bad ones. They've been corrupted by Bowser. If you fight them, they'll flip over, Mario style. So they're easier to beat if you've stomped on their head and like flipped them into that position, versus like just trying to go straight at attacking them. So there's some real cool things like that. One of the battles I fought, I attacked the set. Like in the background, like I said, it was like a play stage. And I attacked the background, and like a tree fell over and hit the boss for more damage than any of my items would have done. So it's good. It's really, really good. And I think this is like the weakest one in the series. And I'm like, man, this is a great RPG. Friend of the show, Russell, rented this from Blockbuster many, many, many years ago. And I looked at it like, what the hell is this? This is not... I have no clue what this is. It looked like a Funko Mario with the dark eyes and that kind of stuff. But this art style is just beautiful. I did go in. There's no, on like Super Nintendo and Genesis and stuff, we can mess with the scan lines and things like that. Give it sort of a retro filter, and they're actually pretty good filters, I think, on the emulation on those. There's nothing on the N64 side. You can't change anything on that screen. It's just 4x3, and it's how they present it. And so Paper Mario is a mix of like 2D sprites, like Mario flipping back and forth, with 3D backgrounds. Like you might have a tree that's 3D. The castle that I was talking about, like Bowser's Castle, when it comes up in the beginning, it's in 3D. So it actually works how they blend that stuff together. I guess kind of how they're doing the 2D, 3D stuff now, right? Like with the upcoming Dragon Quest collection. It has that same type blend. You have a hammer. You unlock a hammer early on, and they encourage you to like whack the shit out of trees and fences. And I'm hitting everything. Whenever I go somewhere, I'm whacking the fuck out of it with that hammer. So Paper Mario, it's like whack-a-mole. It's good. That game is really good, and it's on Nintendo Switch Online. You have to have the premium one for that, right? Plus,
yes.
PlayStation Online, Nintendo Switch Online Plus.
Nintendo Switch Plus, Plus expansion, yeah.
Also, watch this crazy ass video that damn Cesar sent us of LeBron James.
Over on where? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he tagged us in Twitter of this. Oh gosh, what's the multiverses? And it's just
that relaunched,
the LeBron James character.
Yeah.
Bouncing a bunch of basketballs and juggling somebody with the bounced basketballs.
Jason Voorhees.
And
this is the multiverse we all envisioned, right?
Yes.
That is it for my games played. Paper Mario on Nintendo 64. Very, very good video game.
Played nothing this week. Kick it over to
Damn,
like
Cesar?
a Koopa shell.
I can tell you why I've been playing stuff recently, but we'll have to wait. Till
you also roped us into a good portion of that. Or at least me. Tech stuff. Behind the scenes podcast work.
I mean, really, I just I've been chugging away at Final Fantasy. I finally hit the part where I'm just wanting to try and get to the end of the game at this point now, just to get there.
Yeah.
I don't know if because of that now I've hit like this weird thing. If I don't know if it's I'm under leveled or if there are just these weird difficulty spikes because I'm getting closer to the end, so they want it to be more difficult. Yeah. It's one of those weird things because
you're trying to figure out if the balance is off, or if you're actually getting
there. I'm hitting because I know there's only 14 chapters. I'm in chapter 13, but I mean even in chapter 11 and 12 there'd be like these certain fights that you have to go through, and I'm like, well, certainly this has to be like a scripted death thing because this guy is just messing me all the fuck up, and I die and like, okay, nope, it's I gotta try harder and just give it a couple more goes and get a pattern.
Damn.
But yeah, I've pushed through and I've gotten to chapter 13, so things have progressed quite a bit. I met Sid has been flying us around and ferrying us around as of late. He's our main mode of transportation. He doesn't join your party in this game though.
Really? He's just like a support character?
Yeah. He's just kind of there in the story. He doesn't do anything but ferry you from one place to the next.
He was the Dragoon in Final Fantasy VII. And the domestic abuser, if I remember that storyline right.
Damn.
Yeah.
True statement, yeah. Very true statement. Yeah, because of that failed launch he had. He was he hit the bottle hard.
Oh gosh, now I can't remember his name all of a sudden. Vincent, there we go. Saw Vincent Valentine, and then he kind of joined up.
He's still in the basement?
Yeah.
In the coffin?
Still in the basement. He's in the coffin, being the vampire dude. He goes freaking berserk, and you have to fight him. That was a tough fight as well. But then he eventually just kind of goes, all right, yeah, we have a common enemy. I'll come with you. So.
Yeah, he was experimented on.
Yeah.
Hojo?
And he's a former Turk. Yep. On by Hojo. So he's got a grudge.
Hojo's a bad dude.
I guess that's the closest we're gonna get a Dirge of Service storyline right there. Is that
game as bad as people talk about? Kind of want to play some Dirge of Cerberus.
I mean, I don't know, man. We got some PS2 emulators works now, so you never know.
That's right. Open the PS2 floodgates.
Yeah. You never know.
I'm legit willing to do.
All that's gonna happen is they're gonna just re-release Kingdom Hearts for like the 85th time. So
the inferior
Super Ultra Deluxe Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, the PS2 version. We're all idiots just rebuying it again for the 50th time.
Speaking of which, Kingdom Hearts is all coming to Steam. It's coming off the Epic Game Store.
Yeah, we talked about that last.
Did we? I couldn't remember how recent that news was.
Because we all did a pack that we're all gonna buy day one like idiots.
But yeah, we're going to the Cetra Temple in order to do something important to the story.
Citra. I'm trying to remember what happened at Citra.
It's the very end.
Yeah.
It's the very end. Very end. It's a very important
thing.
Richard, you can't forget.
People that go into this temple are said never to come out of this temple. So
temple, yeah.
I do remember this. Temple of the Ancients, that's what I know it is.
Yeah.
I remember that music in there too. The shit was eerie. Have you gotten there yet?
We are entering the temple.
Okay.
So
he's in the end game right now.
I too went to go purchase
PlayStation
Sad
Plus.
Face. Not Sad Face.
Paper Mario.
There it is.
Oh.
Got Paper Mario.
Yay.
While I was there, wound up talking to the person at the GameStop, and he
told you Paper Mario on 64.
Well, we talked about retro games, and I wound up buying a copy of what is it? Fire Emblem, was it Sacred Stones or something like that?
GBA one?
The second, yes, because they had a copy of that. He had some DS and 3DS games.
It's like the copy that me and Richard saw of Final Fantasy VI.
We did see one over there. I
wonder
if it's still there.
Yeah, it was like what, 60 bucks, right?
90. It was something
stupid.
Some
of their
crazy.
Stuff is ridiculous, and he's like, "Yeah, we sell it, and sometimes it's a little overpriced."
Yeah.
But then he also said we've also got some other stuff that I'm surprised that we even have. He goes that's even in stock. I got the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Oh, good pickup.
And
Legend of Legacy. Yeah.
Legend of Legacy remastered HD. This is the deluxe edition.
Games acquired. We've moved on to the games acquired segment of today's show.
I also, because of Cesar bullying me that one time, I saw it on the shelf. So I saw it from literally across the store, so I had to go get it. It's a Konosuba anime degeneracy game kind of thing.
Oh Lord.
No, Brand, you're already behind, man. I just downloaded the Essential
Jesus.
Quintuplets in English on PS4. You're already behind. The double pack.
But here's the other thing is while he was going through all these older games that he had, he pulled out the actual definitive editions of these Grand Theft Auto games.
Where did those come from? Somebody traded them in?
I guess he pulled them out from under the counter.
They were in good condition?
And are they all,
you got the map and everything?
They're all 100% complete, it looks like. They're in pretty decent condition. I mean, the cases are a little grimy.
How expensive are those? I'm curious.
Here's the kicker. He goes, technically, these are not in the system. I cannot do anything with these.
Beautiful.
He's like, do you want these? He said, do you have these? I said, well, technically, yes. I already have a copy of all of these. Well, do you want them? I literally cannot do anything with them.
Oh, nice.
If you want them, take them. I said, fuck it, I will.
Setups like that.
So.
Yeah, enjoy your hot coffee version of San Andreas.
Hey, man, I was there when we had to put the sticker on them and pull them off the shelf. AO stickers. I should have kept one of those. It was pretty cool. Yeah, that's great. And this person knows games. That's not a common commodity at game stores these days.
Yeah.
And they usually just know about Funko Pops.
Funko Pop Mario. Yeah, that's what Paper Mario looks like, but it's a lot of character in that game. Is that it, Brent? Games played, games acquired?
Funko Pop. Funko Pop adjacent Paper Mario.
Yeah, I believe so. I haven't gotten into anything else. I finally got the Game Boy Advanced pieces
for your mod.
For my mod, except the shell I bought does not have buttons, and I don't want to just use the light gray buttons and accents that are on the current kind of Glacier Game Boy Advanced I have.
Once you're in there, it's time to switch it out.
Yeah, so I've got just like black buttons and accents coming that'll go with what I've got, and then I'll break everything down, clean it, and update and swap and post. So
Mermie's in the chat and said, did you tell him you know of this super informative podcast where dudes get on and discuss the glories of physical media, tying directly into your Grand Theft Auto acquisition?
Oh.
Are they worthy of a plug?
We may know of some podcast that does that.
Oh, okay. Does the GameStop employee now? Are they now aware?
Oh,
hey,
yes,
by the way.
course.
Really? Okay, good. Well done, Brent.
I don't know if they are watching, but if you are, hello.
Brent's over there. Have you heard of our Lord and Savior?
Physical media.
Physical media.
Oh, like, subscribe, ring the bell, Patreon.
Can I interest you in a disc or a cartridge?
What are you buying?
A pamphlet.
What are you buying? What are you selling? Hey, stranger.
I like that guy.
That guy's fucking awesome.
Yeah. All right, gents.
Yes, that's it.
Is that it for us? Y'all got anything else you want to add? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this week, and we will catch you next week. Bye.
See you.